How you doing, guys? Okay, I'm finally doing another Blu Ray collection for you as an update of what Blu-rays I've bought in the past few months or so. Okay, I'm going to get this show on the road and in alphabetical as usual. What I'm going to do, if you want to skip to a particular review, just click the timestamp on the description below. Okay, right, in alphabetical order now. Right, this is a Video Nasty favourite, and when the Video Nasties raids occurred in 1992, I think it was the 7th of May, correct me if I'm mistaken, ITV News or BBC News showed this one. It's now available readily uncut in by the way, legally. They showed this on the ITV News. They showed a clip of this on the ITV News, and they said it was from a snuff movie. This is Anthropophagous, but it was released and banned over here as Anthropophagous the Beast. I'll tell you what, it's about a bunch of tourists go to this island. They find that it's deserted, and the inhabitants were either killed or they fled, or they were killed by the character played by George Eastman, and it's not the best film out there, but there are some good gore sequences in it, and also not so good gore sequences in it. There's a scene where the main villain removes an unborn child from a pregnant woman, aborts the baby and eats it, and it's clearly actually a dead rabbit, not an unborn child. Yeah, and if a film climaxes in the villain being impaled and him pulling his guts out, his intestines out and eating them, and right, the special features are 42nd Street Memories, Verizon 4. That's a documentary worth checking out if you're interested in New York's infamous 42nd Street in the late 70s to early 80s. It also has on it a choice whether to watch it in Italian language or with English subtitles or English dub. But the dialogue is pretty ropey, so you're better off watching it with in Italian with English subtitles. But the acting is still not the best. It was made in round about 1979 or 1980, round about that period. But be warned, the first few minutes are in German only, because and there's no subtitles of the dialogue of the German tourist, but that doesn't last long. You soon get into the understandable dialogue after they get killed off anyway. Next one from our video is Blood Rage, not to be confused with the low budget movie that co-released on VHS many moons ago. It's about these twins. One of them is a psychopath and the other one is not a psychopath, and one of them butchers the male guy of the couple having a way with it in the driving, and the wrong twin gets the blame for the murders and gets institutionalized, while the psychotic twin gets off scot-free. Okay, it's a fun movie to watch. The acting is absolutely dreadful in it, laughable to be honest. Both twins are played by the same actor, which is very cleverly done. And I'll mention this, the person who did the gore in this, it's the same guy that did the gore of Nightmares in the Damaged Brain. Yeah, and for the extras you get 2K print, and you get the cut version and the uncut version with extras, talky scenes, and you get a what do they call it now? A composite version with the talky scenes and all the gore in it. Yeah, quite an entertaining film. It wasn't released until 1987, by the way. But the gore is pretty graphic, but the acting is a bit ropey and quite entertaining to watch. The re-edited version is called Nightmare at Shadowwood, by the way. Okay, right, okay, the next up is another our video. I love these limited edition box sets our video have been coming up with lately. It's Bride of Reanimator, the sequel to Reanimator, obviously. Okay, it's a few years after the incident of the original one. Dr. West and Dr. Kane are continuing their research in a war-torn country, I think somewhere in Africa, and they get interrupted by when their place gets raided. Dr. Kane gets mortally wounded, and they end up fleeing back home and going to a hospital, going to work in another hospital, and by returning to the States. Not as good or as gruesome as Reanimator. Special effects by Screaming Mad George. On this Blu-ray you get the unrated version and the R-rated version. Yeah, and also you get this nice little prequel comic book. Okay, and so I'll show you the rest of the stuff that's right. Okay, here's some of the interior. There's the proof that it's a limited edition. It's limited to what is it limited to now? It doesn't say, but anyway, our films have run out of these now. If you want these, I think they should be still in stock in Amazon. I'm not sure. So you get this booklet. So if you want to get one, I suggest you act pretty fast because they might be in the quick process of being sold out very, very quickly. Right. Next up is Django Unchained. This is quite a very long film. This it's quite a very long film. Okay, it's set up in the Wild West. It has Jamie Foxx playing the main protagonist, Django, and somebody, a German doctor, buys him as a slave. Either after he gets kidnapped, and he trains him up as a bounty hunter, and if he he offers him his freedom if he helps him, but the thing is, he wants to find his wife, who was also kidnapped as a slave. Also, Leonardo DiCaprio does an outstanding job as a villain in this film. It was up for some, and also Samuel L. Jackson does a good job as a villain as well. Yeah, there's quite a few gory shootouts towards the end to get your teeth into if you like that kind of thing. Okay. Right. Also by Quentin Tarantino is the Hatefull Eight. Okay. This time Kurt Russell and Jennifer Jason Leigh and Walton Goggins and Tim Roth and other big was on this other Quentin Tarantino film. Right, yeah, you really, really do learn to hate Jennifer Jason Leigh in this film, because she is a right bitch in it. She is absolutely vile. She really is a vile bitch. I was absolutely surprised because I thought that her and the bounty hunters were going to team up in this, but they weren't. She was an absolute vile bitch in this. She was. The things that she said were vile and nasty, and the things that she did, like spitting, the one of the protagonist's precious letters, sent to who was it? Samuel L. Jackson. It was a letter from Abraham Lincoln, anyway. You really do learn to hate her, and it was a type of western who done it thingy. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you love exploding heads, check this one out, because it's got a whole lot of exploding heads in it, and it also has if you like Last House on the Left, you're going to be really pleased with this one, because it has it features the song in it, Now You're All Alone, by David Hess. If you love Tarantino, get this film. It is one of his better recent films anyway, so get it. Also, another one is the first sequel to Insidious Chapter 2. This takes off from when the first one leaves off. Yeah, lots of brilliant. Right, okay. What it's about is the dad in it, played by Patrick Wilson from The Conjuring. He is now possessed by the evil spirit from the first one. It is a very scary film. It has some awesome jump scenes in it. When I went to see this at the cinema, I screamed. Yeah, very strong, awesome jump scenes in it. Really creepy scenes in it as well. And very well acted as well. Yeah. The Don't You Dare scene is the best jump scene in it. I'm not going to spoil it and tell you when it happens, but you will know when it happens, because I screamed at that scene. Okay. Next one is another one which I forgot to include the last time. It is Squirm, classic film from 1976. Yeah, again released by Our Video. Okay, right. Okay, a young student visits his girlfriend in a small town. Right, and and he finds that to his horror that the bait worms from the local bait worm farm company have been attacking and killing the locals. Now, when he tries and goes to tell the sheriff, he he is less than helpful or interested in his story. Anyway, this one was actually featured on MS3K because it is one of those trashy films, one of those films that time has not been kind to. When it was originally released in the cinema in the UK, I think it got an X rating, which was the 70s equivalent to an 18 certificate, and now it's been released as a 15 certificate. So you can see how time has not been kind to this movie. The effects no longer work anymore, and it also was rated 18 for a good long time. So really is a laughably trashy film. MS3K ripped the shit out of this movie. It was the effects were done by Rick Baker, who did an American Werewolf in London. And this version is uncensored and it is rated 15. So, and it does claim to contain strong gory horror. Our times have changed. Okay. Now, last but not least, a recent one from our video is the Zero Boys. Now, this one is done by the same director as Island of Death, and I think this was shot in America, and it's done, and it's been released in a brand new 2K restoration of a film approved by writer-director Nico Mastorakis. Might have screwed his name up. So this film is a mixture of an action and a horror movie. I remember seeing this in my local video store when I was younger. Again, this was rated 18, and I have checked the BBFC website, and in 1986 it was cut, and so I believe, I think this is uncut now. Okay, right, so it's about a group of it's about a paintball shooting team that take a vacation, and they bring along with them the prize, which is a young blonde girl, well, not so young, she's about 19 anyway, and they win this girl as a prize. He's from the person they beat in the paintball battle, and they break into this house as a vacation, and they are being watched by a group of psychotics, in the variation of Deliverance, if you've ever seen this film. Anyway, the soundtrack is very 80s. This is another film that time hasn't been kind to. It's quite a trashy movie. It's one of those so bad it's good movies. Quite trashy. The acting is pretty ropey and okay, and there's some pretty good gore sequences in it. Let's think. Right, so the artwork I love. I'm a big fan of Graham Humphreys. Have that beautiful artwork, and okay, and on the other side of get the original artwork. But anyway, okay, and also it's a dual case, so you get the DVD as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this overview. So there are social media links in the description below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please do subscribe. And also I have a weekly vlog over the weekend. Please don't forget to check that out, and I will see you soon in another video.